Hi, welcome to Cruisable Dreams, where we do all things travel. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about our recent trip on the MSC Divina. So sit tight and get ready to see everything that we encountered on the MSC Divina. Again, I say welcome, and like I mentioned before, we're going to be talking about the MSC Divina. We recently got to go on the MSC Divina back in October of 2022, and so we got to experience things after COVID, if you would, because of course things are starting to lax up and everything. So we didn't have to worry about masks, we didn't have to do any testing, and there was barely any social distancing, although that would have been a little nice because personally I like the social distancing, but that's just me. With that being said, we're going to be talking today about the embarkation process, the cabins, the food, and different things like that. Just to give you an idea, for this particular cruise, we went with myself, my wife, my two kids, my parents, my mother-in-law, and my aunt. So of course we had a wide range of ages, so we could experience different things from different points of views. So keep that in mind as we're going through this. I'm going to be showing you some pictures today. That way you can see different things that took place. You'll be able to see some of the cabins, some of the food, pictures of the ship, different things like that. So we're going to be looking at all of that. With that being said, we're going to start off with talking about the embarkation process. Now, like I said, this was back in October, and things might have changed a little bit since then, but our embarkation process was pretty seamless. To give you an idea again on that, my wife, my kids, and I, we all have passports, so that's fairly easy to do. But my mother-in-law and my aunt both used their driver's license and birth certificates. So what we did is we went into our time, which we were given an early time. I think it was 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, so it was fairly early. And so we went straight through, and we were able to check in with no problems. Let me tell you, just as a side note, the porters at Port Canaveral were fantastic. We had to take my mother-in-law's scooter and my dad's scooter, and they helped unload those scooters for my parents, told us where to park to make it easier when we get back, and then also they told us where to meet our family after parking, because of course they rode up an elevator and we had to do an escalator. So with that being said, going through the check-in process, they had, I don't know how many places open, but you went straight through. Of course, you went through what's the word I'm looking for? You went through the metal detectors and everything like that first, went through security, and then you go in and you do your check-in. Now, some of the people that we dealt with were fairly new, and so they were still learning the system. That's not a problem with us. We were giving them a little extra grace with that so they can figure things out. They took our information and then gave us our key cards right there at the desk, which I found interesting because a lot of the cruises that I've been on, you get them at the door and things like that. But for MSC, they handed us the cards right at our desk, right at their desk, excuse me. And then we went through the gangplank and everything like that and made it on the ship. Now, I will tell you this, when you first get on the ship, it can seem overwhelming, especially if you've never gone on an MSC cruise before. There's people milling about everywhere, and then on top of that, you have different areas to go, and the rooms were not open. Well, excuse me, the rooms were open early for us. Let me tell you that in a minute. But you have these kiosks that you go to where you can scan your card, and then you add your credit card to it. That way, if you have any incidentals or anything like that, it goes directly on that card, and you don't have to worry about it when you check out. So that's done. We were able to do that. The biggest thing is that we couldn't really set spending limits for my kids, um, but that's easier for us because typically our kids stay with us. So we did all that, and then we were able to go and put our things in our rooms. The reason why I say that we were able to put our items in our rooms, normally the rooms open up about 2 o'clock, but we got down there early, like I mentioned, and they were already open because they didn't have any passengers to get off that morning, because the ship had just come back after being out an extra day, because of Hurricane Ian. So we were able to take that and use that. Hurricane Ian was a devastating storm, um, but it worked out better for us in the long run. So we had that, put our stuff in the rooms, and then we went and got a bite to eat. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can't throw a couple pictures up of the rooms and things like that for you to see. First, you're gonna see here that there's the atrium here. You got a piano, live music. It happened almost every night. You can see that there is plenty of seating. What's interesting about these seats is that you had to go up, and then there's a little down area for it. But it was really nice, because you can hear the music no matter where you were at, and it was really a good time. And then you can see from the pictures as well that, like I said, there's just plenty of seating. And then on this next picture that's coming up here, you're going to see a different angle of the seating. You can see kind of where I was talking about, where you had to go up, and then it's a down area. Um, the seating was right there. You got this long couch, you got some chairs, and different things like that, some tables, where you can go and have your drinks brought to you and be able to enjoy just the accompaniment of the live music. Um, what's interesting is that the music was loud, but it wasn't like overpowering from those spots. So you have that going for you there. And then you'll see in this next picture right here, the stairs. Let me tell you about these stairs. These stairs, you'll see right now, they're roped off. And the reason they're roped off is because I actually took this picture when we were debarking. But these stairs have these uh, diamonds in it. They look like diamonds in them, and LED lights. They are very, very bright. And if you're not careful, they can throw off your vision a little bit. So you can see that these lights, and this picture doesn't do it justice, but there's the lights and the stones in there. And then here's another picture of it, where we could go up and down. These stairs were one of my daughter's favorite things, probably because they sparkled, and she's very much into sparkly things at 11 years old. So you have those. The stairs were very, like I said, very bright for you to be able to see those, and be able to go up and down them. And then this next picture, I'm going to show you a picture of our cabin, our balcony cabin. And this is taken from the entrance door. This one actually ended up being my kids. We had the kids in one and us in another one. So we ended up having them separate this bed out. But you can see that there's a lot of room. You had the bed, and then you had the couch, a table, an ottoman was in there, and then you had the door to the balcony as well. Overall, it was pretty easy. You take your clothes out of your bags, stick your suitcases under the beds, plenty of storage for you to be able to move around in the cabin. And so you can see that everything was prepared. This was the day that we boarded. Everything was ready for us. One thing about the Divina is that you still used paper for the daily guides and everything like that. You did not use your phone for that. They're not a smart ship yet. So I'm going to come back in here and kind of cut in because going through my pictures, I didn't realize I had that many pictures, and I wanted to share so much with you guys about the MSC Divina. So it's going to end up being a couple or 3 videos before it's all over, because I don't want you to get discouraged or bored or anything like that. So I will go ahead and end this video right now, and then we'll go ahead and start working on another video to show you more of the MSC Divina.